Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. Today we're going to be learning a little vocabulary again at this time slot. Yesterday we had a nice cheerful class about babies and birth. We're going the other direction today. In fact, quite the opposite direction. We're going to learn vocabulary associated with death. Yes, a little bit of a morbid topic today, okay, but nonetheless useful and practical in real life, because you know what? Death happens, whether you like it or not. Okay, we're going to be learning some basic vocabulary to discuss the topic of death and dying. All right. Okay, let me start out by doing a little microphone check and saying my hellos. Abimelech, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm okay, thank you for asking. Doing pretty well. All right, I'd like to also say hello to Yvette. Hello, Yvette. How are you? Hi there. Yvette, you may need to scroll to the top of the screen with your mouse, and you'll see a microphone. There you go. You're unmuted. Hello, Yvette.
Yeah. Hi, Oakley. How are you doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Terrific.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I'd like to welcome Juan Carlos. Hello, Juan.
Hello, Oakley. How are you?
Pretty good. Okay. All right, folks. Today we have let me introduce my first word of the day for vocabulary. We have a little bit of a morbid topic today. That's an adjective. If something's morbid, it's depressing. It has to do with death. And it's usually a pessimistic. If somebody makes a morbid statement, it's pessimistic. It has something to do with death and dying. Okay, well, our topic's a wee bit morbid today, but let's get right to it. We're going to start with very, very basic vocabulary to talk about death and dying, and then we'll progress into various other verbs and adjectives, and actually how we use these different words in sentences. So we'll be doing a number of fill-in-the-blank exercises and kind of mix and match exercises to do this, as well as some discussion and talk, conversation. All right, we've had a couple others join the class, so I want to welcome Heidi. Hello, Heidi. Good morning.
Hello, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Welcome to the class. Also, hello, Minor. Hi, how are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Minor, you've got a little background noise there, so I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't mind turning off the, not turning off, but muting your microphone when you're not talking. Okay? If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, don't worry. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And I'd also like to welcome Hector to the class. Hi, Hector, again.
Hi, Oakley.
Hi.
Good evening.
Evening. Always a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm going to get started here. Very, very basic. All right. Lots of different versions of the word dead and death. Ooh, okay. Anyway, well, let's just get this done. I know it's slightly depressing, but okay, we're looking at these different forms. adjective, verb, noun form, plural noun. Okay. Abimelech, I'm going to have you start since you were first in the class. Please go ahead and read sentence number 1, putting in the correct form of die or dead in the sentence, please.
The ambulance was too late. The boy was dying by the time it arrived at the hospital.
Well, Abimelech, I have to say here in English, when we say too late, it's definitely very negative, and if it's too late, my guess is that he was beyond dying. He probably didn't make it. In fact, my guess is he's probably dead by the time he arrived at the hospital. Actually, Abimelech, we have a very common acronym for that very scenario. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? What it is?
No.
Okay. When an emergency victim comes to the hospital in an ambulance and they don't make it, all right? They arrive at the hospital and it's too late. They're already dead. Very common to use the acronym. Those are letters representing words to say DOA. So sadly, the boy was DOA. It would probably be a much more common way to actually express this in English.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. Number 2, Yvette. Can you please read this one for us? Yvette?
Can you hear me, Oakley?
Yes, I can now.
Yes.
Now you've muted yourself again.
Yes, I am a bit upset. My grandmother died last week.
Okay. Died, and don't forget to pronounce the D at the end of the word. Okay.
Died.
Died, yes. Okay, my grandmother died last week. Past tense of the verb to die, died. And also the past participle. Okay, one thing to note, okay, today I die, okay. Present tense, past tense, died. He had died of pneumonia before they arrived, okay. That's the past participle. Note that we don't use a passive form with the verb die. We would never say he was died or he is died. It's basically impossible to use a passive with the simple past or simple present with the verb die. More often than not, okay, he was, because something, when we're using passive, the action happened to him. More often than not, if we're using a passive, he was killed. Okay, he was killed by gangsters. That's a passive form. Okay. All right, number 3, Juan Carlos. Try this one.
My best friend is very upset. Her father is dead of cancer.
Well,
Deaths.
well, Juan, we have the verb is here, so that's a clue. Her father is something of cancer. It's probably looking for continuous tense. It's got to be a verb because we have a subject noun and then a prepositional phrase. That, we have
Dying.
dying, is dying of cancer. All right. Continuous tense. He's in the process of now. Okay. Yeah. Dying of cancer. That's correct. Uh, all right, Heidi, can you tackle number 4 for us here?
My brother never really recovered after his wife's sudden death.
Yes. His wife's sudden death. Okay, this is the noun form. Death is the noun form. So that's correct. Got a preposition and then possessive pronoun, and we're using wife as an adjective and then an adverb. So a lot of things going on, but it has to be the noun. That's correct. All right. In a less morbid use of this collocation at the end of the sentence, Heidi, not talking about death and dying actually here, but talking more about sports. Do you know what a sudden death is?
Yes.
Okay.
For example, baseball. It's decided until nine times, but if couldn't decide and 9 times ended, then after each 1 time kind of
Yeah. Right. Okay.
deciding
Right.
which is win. Then it's sudden death. Sudden
Okay.
death match.
Basically, that's it. Yeah. Each increment, each unit in the baseball game are called innings. Just by the way. And okay, sudden death in sports is when actually it's not doesn't quite fit for baseball because each team, even if the game ends tied, each team gets a chance. It's kind of sudden death because the home team gets to go last, and if they have more points at the end, they've won. Sudden death is when 2 teams are tied at the end of regulation time in a game, whatever the game is, usually sports, of course, and they play sudden death. American football plays sudden death. Basically, whoever scores first in the extra time wins. That's it. So suddenly the other team is dead. All right. So whoever scores, when the game is decided by whoever scores first, whoever scores, first or next. That's sudden death. So if the game went into sudden death, you would say. Okay, Minor, how about number 5?
Okay. The number of deaths in road accidents has increased again this year.
Okay, yes, it has to be plural of the noun, deaths. There's a good reminder here. Whenever you use this phrase, the number of something, your noun doesn't matter. Deaths, pencils, cats, houses, whatever it is, it has to be plural. Okay. Now, all right. The fact is, we don't usually only use dead or death or dying. Basically, they're common enough words, but we would never use them in front of people that might be sensitive about this. We would actually more often use the phrase passed away. Sometimes you may hear passed on, or talking in the third person. The person lost his wife, lost his father. Okay, it's a kinder, less shocking way than just saying died or killed or murdered or some more shocking word to talk about death. So to be polite, in other words, I'm sorry to hear that your father passed away, would be much more polite than saying, I'm sorry to hear your father died. It sounds a little abrupt. It's not really precisely rude, but it's not very sensitive to the person's feelings either. We use these phrases to try to attempt to be a little more sensitive when we're talking about the deceased. Okay. The deceased, by the way, deceased also means dead. It's a more formal word. Okay. Let me quickly welcome, is it Abraham?
Welcome, teacher.
Hello. Welcome to the class. Hi, Abraham. I'm going to be talking to you in just a minute, having you help us with these exercises. Right now, I'm going to go to Hector. Hector, we're going to do a little mix and match here. Okay. Let's see if I can make this so you can see everything here. All right. We're going to match the words on the left with the definition on the right. So, Hector, 6, a widow. What is a widow? Hector? Hector, are you there?
Yes, I am thinking.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know.
No idea.
No.
Okay. Well, let me throw it out to the group. Who knows what is a widow? D. A woman whose husband is dead. A woman whose husband has passed away, more politely, is called a widow. That's absolutely correct. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, that's a good word to know if you don't know it. Abraham. So if a widow is the woman whose husband is dead, Abraham, what is a widower?
Is E.
That's right. A man whose wife is dead, right, is called a widower. He's an old widower. Be a common collocation there. Thank you. All right, we've got a new student in class. Hello, I can't read your name. Sush. This is much as I... Hi, what's your name, please?
Sushant.
Sushant?
Sushant, yes.
Got it, okay. Where are you from, Sushant?
I am from India.
Okay. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
All right. Actually, it's by virtue of your last in, and we're on the last one here. Let me go ahead and ask you, what is a will? What is the definition of a will over here on the right? A, B, C, D, E. Sushant?
Hello.
Hi. Can you? I'm asking you right away here. I'm throwing you right in. Meaning of will.
Will. Okay. Let me guess. I hope it is A.
A. Okay. The document which says what will happen to your possessions when you die. Yes, that is correct. It is a legal document. You go to a lawyer, and you, furthermore, you draw up a will. We use quite a specific phrasal verb, draw up a will. Of course, we can also say you write a will. He wrote a will. But when you're doing it with a lawyer, which most normal people tend to do, we said he went to the lawyers to write up a will. It's common, the common verb that we use. All right. Thank you very, very much. This is the same, Hector. This is the same as a testament. No, not quite. A testament, last will and testament. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, you probably heard that phrase, right? Okay, I got you. Yes, it's a common phrase, last will and testament. Well, that's a very good question, actually. The will, it can refer to the same thing, yes, as a unit. But really, often what people will write their will, who gets what possessions, all right? But and testament, that part, they often want to say some things, to write some special notes, to convey some information to the dearly departed. Oh, there's another useful phrase. The people left behind, the friends and relatives. Sometimes you probably saw this in the movie where the dead person will leave a video or something, and he will say, "I always hated you. I never liked any of my children. I'm leaving all my money to a poor child I met on the street." You know, like you see that in the movies, right? Well, that part where he's leaving a video, that's his testament. That's his last testament. Okay? So usually those are combined, right? So last will and testament. So when the person leaves a special message that he wants read, or nowadays we have video, of course, he wants played, that would be his testament. So good question, actually. Hi, Aileen out there, by the way. Come on and join us. We still got room for one more, I believe. Anyway, let me go on to number 9. Back to Abimelech. Abimelech.
Okay, Undertaker. The person to arrange funerals. B.
Undertaker is in fact correct. The person whose job it is to arrange funerals. Okay. Okay, hang on. Let me say hello to Omar first. Omar, hello. Didn't see you come in the class.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Omar.
Hello.
Hi. There's a bit of background noise. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, when you're not speaking, please just mute your microphone. So it's a little bit noisy where you are. I suspect you don't have headphones. Okay, so you just mute yourself when you're not speaking. I'll come back to you in just a second. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't see you come in there, but okay, Abimelech. All right, you are absolutely right. The person whose job it is to arrange funerals, they're often somber. Western culture stereotypes undertakers as being very quiet, kind of a little bit scary people who dress in dark clothes and talk with a low voice like this. Sometimes undertakers are a little bit scary, but I've actually known a couple personally. They're not scary. Just so you know. Okay. Okay, Omar, now I'm going to bring it to you. Last but not least, Omar, go ahead. What is a funeral?
He's gone out.
Oh, he went out. Okay. I can't. All right, I see. All right. My mistake. Yvette, then I'll bring it over to you. Yvette?
Hello.
Hi, Yvette. What is a funeral?
Well, a funeral is the ceremony for burying and cremating someone, or cremating someone.
Very good. Thank you. Pronunciation of burying, okay? Bury, okay. B-U-R-Y, all right? This is very, very common mistake, so don't feel bad. I hear this all the time. Bury with dirt, put in a hole in the ground and cover with dirt. And berry, like a strawberry or a blueberry, actually sound exactly the same in English. Okay? I ate a berry, I buried him in the sand at the beach. So they sound exactly the same.
Okay.
All right. And what is cremating, Yvette?
It is burn something.
Burn.
In this case, burn the flesh.
Burn the person. And yeah, well,
Yes,
that's
a person, yes.
That's right. Well, the corpse, the dead body. Okay. Before I forget, all right, a dead body, we can call a corpse, or more politely, I guess, the remains is common. Okay, we had to put the remains in the coffin. We cremated the remains would be more common than saying we cremated the dead body. It sounds a little crude, or corpse is a bit crude as well. So, all right, death, we have to be a little bit delicate. If Yvette, have you ever been to a funeral?
Yes, I have been in a funeral.
Mm-hmm. Not exactly a happy occasion.
No, it's really sad.
It's really sad. Yes, agreed. Now, it's strange. You know, I've traveled a bit. I've lived in a few different countries. It's very, it's quite different how the whole funeral thing is handled in different countries. Maybe actually we'll talk about that in a little while. Yvette, where are you from?
Well, I am just log on with my my wife email. I'm Javier. My name is Javier.
Oh.
I'm from.
Oh, it's Javier. Oh,
Yes.
I didn't recognize your voice. Hi, Javier. Sorry.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I know that actually. Sorry, I didn't recognize your voice. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for telling me. Should have told me earlier. I feel foolish. Okay. Thanks, Javier. Okay. All right, but I want to get to a little more vocabulary. How did he die? Okay, common question when you find out someone has passed away or passed on. All right, I've got some work cut out for you, Juan. All right, you're going to try number one. Which of the expressions goes, we've got 6 expressions here. All right, 6 nouns or adjective-noun combinations. All right, Juan, he died of what? What matches this sentence structure? Juan, are you there?
Okay, sorry. He died of cancer, and he died of a heart attack.
Okay.
He died of old age.
Very good. Notice this structure he died of. Very good job, Juan. This structure he died of, these are all what we call natural causes. All right. He died of natural causes. Okay. Natural from nature. Okay. Disease and such. Old age. Okay. He died of old age, of course. It's very strange. Nobody really dies of old age anymore. With modern medicine, they can always figure out exactly what the reason was, usually. But still, we can use this if a person is very old. And, of course, cancer, the horrible disease, considered natural causes. Okay. So, Heidi, let's talk about B. He was killed in
the war.
Mm-hmm.
He was killed in the war or a road accident.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or a car crash.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right, we can use died. He died of, usually natural causes. He was killed in something unnatural, an accident, unexpected event or a war. Okay. Okay. Sometimes, okay, we can use he was killed, like if it's a plague or a disease that kills many people. He was killed in the plague of 1912, for example. Sometimes it's used for that, which would obviously mean that it's natural cause. It is really, but for the most part, we use these two different structures to talk about natural causes and not. Okay, now use the correct form of these verbs.
Teacher,
Yes, question.
teacher, excuse me. I want to know when we have to use murder.
Murder. Well, murder means one human killing another human. So it has to be human and human. If a bear kills you, then you were killed by a bear, but you would never say he was murdered by a bear. Anytime, doesn't matter if how you're killed, one human to another human, that's when you use murder. He was murdered in his sleep. He was murdered by poison. Okay, so there you go. Since you ask, it's your turn anyway, Minor. I have one. Who can tell me? I'll give a gold star. We're talking about ways that people die. All right. I have a beauty for you. If somebody was, I'm gonna. Let me see. Hang on. Defenestrated. Okay. If you were, actually, not just Minor, but the whole class. If you were defenestrated, how are you murdered? Since you brought up murder. Gold star, if anybody could possibly tell me what this means, I seriously challenge you. Anyone? He was defenestrated. No? Nobody knows, do you? Okay. We actually have a word, all right? If you're defenestrated, that means that you were thrown out of a window.
Okay.
I know, that's crazy. We actually have a word for this in English. I don't know. Did it used to be common in Old England? I have no idea. But anyway, there is in fact a word for that. Okay, Minor. These different, possibly unpleasant ways to die. You're going to concern yourself with reading the sentence, putting in the correct verb, but also you have to be aware of the verb tense. All right? So, Minor, give this a try. Number 1.
Okay, 10 people burned to death in a fire in Birmingham last night.
Yeah, burned, past tense, last night, so we know it's past tense. That is correct. Burned. Just so you know, Birmingham. Pretty big city in England. All right, burned. Yes. Of course, we use burned in a lot of ways. Of course, anything that you... by the way, I have to say, just because it's a common mistake, when you start a fire, you set something on fire, or you light it on fire. You don't burn it on fire, or you don't... Okay? We use different words to talk about starting the flame. All right, burn means the action of the actual fire burning. All right. We do use burn as a slang. No, not a slang, but a more metaphorical way. If I was burned in a deal, it means that I was tricked in a deal. I was burned. It means I probably lost a lot of money. Okay. But yes, in this sentence, physically burn is to be on fire. All right. Hector, number 2.
Aid.
Aid. Mm-hmm.
Aid workers have warned that unless food is sent soon, thousands of people will.
They need food. You have a guess?
Starve?
Starve. Starve.
Starve.
Yeah. That's it. Very good. Will starve to death. Future's simple version, but that's absolutely
Starving.
correct. Starve. I'm starving. Okay, you're
Yes,
really
yes.
hungry? Very common
Yes.
to use the adjective of the verb I'm starving. So if somebody starves to death, well, they die from lack of food. All right, very good.
Okay, what is the word for turn on the fire? Maybe
To what's that? Turn on the
when you talk about the burn is the actually
turn on the fire. Oh yeah, back here. Burn. You start a fire. You light a fire.
light. Okay. Okay, I understand. Yes. Thanks.
Okay. A match, you might strike a match. Okay, because it's the movement of hitting the match really hard against the side of something. So it's, of course, obviously you can strike a match and start a fire. Okay. Sure, no problem. Thanks for asking. Ibrahim, number 3.
Okay. The victim of the attack was stabbed in the chest and bled to death.
Good job. Okay. Right. The present tense of the verb is bleed. The past tense is bled. Okay, it's an irregular verb. So you're absolutely right because he was stabbed. Okay. And then he bled to death. His blood, the noun, he lost too much blood. Stab. Okay, Abimelech, thank you for asking. To stab somebody, you stab with a knife. A sharp instrument, a sharp tool. Doesn't have to be a knife. Could be scissors. Could be a very sharp rock. Okay, could be a long pole. Could be a spear. You can be stabbed with a spear, a very sharp stick. All right, your body is pierced. Okay, so there you go. Not a pleasant way to go. In English, sometimes we say, what a horrible way to go. What a way to go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. To express that this is not a desirable way to die. Quick shout out and hello to Nader. Hello, Nader. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'll come to you in just a second. Let me talk to Sushan for a minute. Sushan.
Yes, hello.
Hi, number 4.
Hi.
Could you read this for us, please?
The baby swallowed a coin and choked to death.
Very good. I mean, it's not very good that the baby swallowed a coin, but it's a very good answer. Ooh. Okay. Yes, horrible. Choked to death, also past tense. Very good. Now, okay, somebody can choke on their food, eating too fast or eating up too large a piece of food. Okay, so he's choking on his hamburger, fine. But also, if a person puts his hands around another person's neck and doesn't let them breathe, we also use choke to mean the same thing. Okay, he the husband choked his wife to death in the shower. Okay, so not that the wife was eating the husband, but like suffocate. Right, that's exactly it. Suffocate is a little bit more formal, but suffocate means you can't breathe, or you can breathe, but you have no oxygen. All right, there may be plenty of other gas to go in your lungs, but there's no oxygen. So suffocate means you can't breathe, specifically oxygen. Choke means somebody actually committed a violent act of murder. Well, it doesn't have to be murder. You can choke somebody and let them go. He started choking me and he didn't let me go for 2 minutes. Okay, I'm still alive. I'm not dead. Suffocate means also you don't have to be. You can. I thought I was suffocating. Okay, the room was suffocating. It was really hard to breathe. Doesn't necessarily have to be used that you're actually dead. So, okay, suffocate, choke are somewhat related. As is drown, Abimelech, I'm going to come to that in a second when we see it in a sentence. Okay, Nader, good question. Someone suffocated someone else. Yes, it can be used that way. I'm sorry if I misled you. All right. He suffocated his wife with a pillow. All right. He put a pillow, because choking actually really involves putting the hands or something around the neck. All right, specifically. So this is a crazy topic. So if someone put a pillow over someone's face and didn't let them breathe, then actually you would probably say he suffocated her, or she suffocated him. Okay. All right, so hopefully that makes it a little clearer. Is Omar here? Omar's gone. Okay, Nader, actually, you've got the next one.
It is believed that two climbers starved to death in temperatures of minus 30 degrees.
I don't think so. I think they probably didn't. It takes
froze.
Right, probably. Right, because it's minus 30, right? It takes a while to starve. Yeah, not quite so long to freeze to death. Okay, froze. That's right. This is another irregular verb, freeze, froze, frozen, right? And we often notice the phrase froze to death. We wouldn't normally say that the two climbers froze in temperatures of minus 30. We're actually going to say froze to death if death is a result. Because, of course, we use freezing in normal everyday life. Freeze the chicken, we're not going to eat it for a few days. Sure, okay. Of course, I'm not going to say freeze the chicken to death. Because that sounds crazy. All right. And, of course, we normally might say, oh, it's so cold today, I'm freezing. Doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means you're very cold. So froze to death. Abimelech. Great.
Okay.
Perfect.
A man drowned today after jumping into the river Thames to save his dog.
There you go. So there's your answer to your question. Drown. Drown, somewhat related to suffocate, choke, but drown specifically, water. You can't breathe because of water. That's right. You go down under the water. You don't have to go under the water in the river or the ocean or whatever. Famously, you might see those safety messages about how small children and babies can drown in a bucket of water, 2 inches of water. I don't really know how that's possible, but of course I've seen that before. In any case, doesn't matter. You're breathing water, so too much water in your lungs, you get no oxygen. Whoops. I missed one section. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, more horrible things. Match the verbs and nouns to make 3 expressions which fit in the sentence below. Okay, so, okay, verb and a noun, all right, that co-locate that would make this sentence grammatically correct. Hopefully you understand. Javier, go ahead, give this a try. How could you
Okay.
make this? Yeah.
Okay. Police believe the young man committed suicide after his wife left him.
Very good. These words definitely, strongly, very strongly co-locate. They're usually together. Okay, commit. You can commit suicide. You can commit murder. You can commit a crime. Usually, strongly, we co-locate commit with any crime, actually, and suicide. All right, your views of whether suicide is a crime or not, that's a strange idea, but believe it or not, in the United States, suicide is committed a crime. I've actually read stories where New York City policemen shot a man and killed him to prevent him from committing suicide. True story. Okay, well, all right. In any case, Heidi. All right, can you give me another co-location here?
Police,
Mm-hmm.
police believe the young man, after his wife left him, committed suicide. No. No, committed suicide.
Committed suicide? Yeah, we've already got that one. Javier gave us that one. So eliminate that. What's another verb and noun phrase?
Killed himself.
Killed himself. Very good. All right. Believe the young man killed himself after his wife left him, which of course means the same thing. Which of course only leaves us with took his own life. All of these very common phrases, very common collocations, mean exactly the same thing. Suicide, he killed himself, he took his own life. They're all the same in meaning. Okay. All right. Okay, now we've got some big long phrases here. Let's see if we can try these. All right, we're going to fill in the blanks with some phrases up here. Died of cancer, came to her funeral. See if you can fit those in the sentences to make them make sense. Is Minor still here? Nope. Okay, Hector. First one, number 1 here.
As soon as Mr. Johnson knew she was dying, she
Okay.
is talking about money. Maybe she left me 2,000.
Well, Hector, you only get money after the person dies. Okay. So if she knew she was dying, by the way, pronunciation, it's a long I sound, dying. Okay, so she's still alive because it says as soon as. All right. So immediately after she realized she was dying, what did she probably do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's see if the class can help us. What do you think Mrs. Johnson did? Anybody?
Made a will.
Made a will. Okay, she probably went to a lawyer and they drew up a will. Again, draw up is a phrasal verb we often use with a will. You draw up a will with your lawyer. So she wrote her will, she made her will, she drew up a will, a legal document which would describe where her earthly possessions would go. And in this case, leaving all her money to the Red Cross. Now this part, okay, is debatable. Could be, well, probably she died of cancer a few months later because she left all her money to the Red Cross. Okay, right. Okay, Abraham, number 2.
When my aunt died, she was widowed. Widow?
No. No, only a living person can be widowed. So if you're widowed, well, you have to be a woman to be widowed. A woman is widowed when her husband dies, but she's still alive. Was widowed. Now, for a male, it's a little tricky. We changed the sentence structure. He became a widower, okay? Because you remember, widow is a female, widower is a man. So he can't say he was widowered. Sounds weird. Okay, but anyway, so the aunt is dead, so she cannot be a widow. A dead person is not a widow or a widower.
When my aunt died, she died of cancer.
Well, okay, grammatically, all right, grammatically, I suppose that fits. All right, but a little bit of a strange sentence just because you would normally just say my aunt died of cancer.
Okay, leave me.
There you go. All right, that makes more sense. When my aunt died, she left me £2,000 in her will. Okay, very good. All right, one thing and then the other. Okay, very good. Sushan.
Yes.
Try number 3 here, please.
When her father died, Sally entered the family business.
Yes, no doubt. Okay, well, here's a word strangely has not come up yet. To inherit. Okay, you inherit money from someone, or money or property, or genetic attributes, for that matter, from somebody. If somebody leaves a will and they leave you money, for example, in the previous sentence, when my aunt died, she left me £2,000 in her will. That means she inherited £2,000. Okay, so Sally inherited the family business. Somebody died and she got the family. She was given the family business. She was given control. We also can say, I inherited my good looks from my father. All right. We also use inherit to talk about what is genetically passed down, okay, through DNA. So we also use inherit that way. Inherit is the verb. Inheritance is the property or the money that you're talking about when you're talking about inheriting. Okay, and of course we have an heir is a male person who will inherit the money, and an heiress is a female. So, okay, so a famous heiress. inherited a lot of money, probably. Okay. Notice when I say heir and heiress, I do not pronounce the H, by the way. Okay. Next one, Nader. Number 4, please.
Helen was very popular. When she died, more than 200 people came to her funeral.
Yes, all right. Okay, that's a very popular funeral. Okay, very good. Came to her funeral, which of course is the ceremony to say goodbye to those who have passed on, the ceremony to mark this occasion. I hate to say occasion. Occasion sounds happy, and of course it's not usually a very happy occasion. Okay, Abimelech, back to you for the last one here.
Okay. Poor Sheila, she was widowed only a year after she got married. Her husband, what's that? Had
Yeah, had.
very suddenly while they were on a holiday in New Zealand.
Okay, very good. Okay, Abimelech.
Yeah.
Okay, is there some sort of, I'm sure there is, some sort of ceremony in your culture when a person passes on? Yes. Sorry? Oops.
Berwick, no more here.
I'm sorry?
You are asking of Berwick or something.
Yeah, he's here, I think.
Huh?
Yeah, Abimelech is here. So anyway, sorry.
Abimelech.
Yeah, sorry. Abimelech, when are you there? In fact,
yes, I am.
Doubtful. Okay, when someone passes on, when someone dies, is it extremely solemn? Is there some kind of even a celebration?
No, not celebration.
Okay. I know that may sound funny. It may sound funny to several others in class, but I'm an American. I live in the Philippines, and they have the patay. They put the body on display for anyone to see with an open coffin normally for 3 days and 3 nights, 24 hours a day. And the family guards or safeguards the body, and people come and they play cards and drink beer, and everyone brings food, and they give money to the family, and it's basically a 3-day party. You go and pay your respects, you have a couple beers, and you hang out. Maybe they play special games of chance and the family with the dead person will actually get part of the money to help with the funeral expenses. So yeah. Abraham, what? What are you talking about? Why was the country celebrating? Because they didn't like the president, or because they're celebrating his life? Abraham, I just have to ask.
Celebrate when our president dies.
Why? Because they didn't like the president, or because they are celebrating his life? Is it respectful or not?
Not. Nobody wants the president.
Okay, all right. Got it. Enough said. Okay, very good. Because in some cultures, a celebration is not because we didn't like that person, but is because we're actually celebrating their life and remembering them in a way they think that they would like. Irish basically have a celebration, a wake, it's called, to commemorate. That's it, to commemorate his life, his or her life. So a wake is basically a party. You have the funeral, which is quite solemn, but in addition to that, you have a wake. So anyway, my time is up. I hope that you've all learned some valuable, useful, practical vocabulary to use to talk about death and dying. Sorry about the morbid topic, but it is kind of practical. So anyway, hope you found it useful. Thanks for joining me on Verbling. See you again.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Fisher.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you, Clee.